Okay, now we'll take a look at a catcher. Catcher is essentially the same as any other fielder, when catching a ball. He has an advantage knowing what's coming and where it's going to be, essentially where it's going to be. He already knows what kind of a pitch it's going to be. He knows the break, so he's better prepared to catch it. The fielder also, can read where the ball is going to be, so he's in good position or to get to the ball to know where it is. The only exception would be if the ball hits a little stone or a rock, takes a weird bounce, but these are exceptions to the rule. Alright, essentially he's in a good stance here. Whatever stance makes you comfortable, no problem to the knees or other body parts, then it's a good stance. Okay, he gets the ball. Now he's going to be thrown to second, at least I hope it's second. So he's already starting his turn. Feet come around, side facing position. All this is good. So he's ready for the throw, and he doesn't waste time getting into position. He already started as soon as he caught the ball. He was already turning his body. He was already getting ready. He took a stride. He could have maybe taken a little bit more of a stride, but that's immaterial right now. But again, we see total body rotation. And look right up here in his head now. Look where his head is. Off to the side. And even though it's blurry, and I apologize for that, but it's nothing that we can do. These are the films that are presented to the pros for their evaluation. So here's the head. He's looking directly out to the outfield, if I can say that loosely. But now he's turning his head out to the side. So if he's throwing toward second, he's looking toward third. And let's take a look at the arm. He's coming through with the throw. Look at that tremendous lean off to the side. Tremendous lean off to the side is not really helping any in terms of production of force. It's probably happening because of his head being turned that way. If he were going to be throwing more overhead with the hand up here, then I can see the value of this lateral flexion of the spine. Because if the hand was up here, we have a more direct line with the forward foot. So any force generated from this foot is going to go right into the ball. But here, the hand is way out here. So it's not really contributing anything to it. So there's no need for it. And that head being looking out toward third base. And look what happens on the next one now. See, here the ball is released. He's looking out toward third. He's not even looking at second base. Now you might want to say this is a fluke, it doesn't happen all the time. But I'll show you another one coming right up after this. But here the ball's being released. He's looking toward third. So what's that doing for his accuracy? He's still looking way off. Okay, coming through sidearm. So his release is more 3/4 to sidearm as opposed to an overhead. See now, when you throw sidearm, it's very hard to judge how high or low you're going to be throwing. You can do this when you're in close. That's why in the infield you'll find many athletes who throw sidearm, which is fine, because you're not throwing that far. But here he needs both accuracy and force. So if he had more of an overhead release, keeping more of a 90-degree angle in the elbow or close to it, he'd be able to exhibit more force as well as accuracy. But sidearm, how high or how low am I going to be throwing that ball? So you can get by when it's close. Or if you were ever a handball player or a racquetball player, you would realize this. See, because that's all sidearm. And you can judge how high or low. But when you get far away, it gets mighty hard to be accurate. You can still judge high or low. But in terms of accuracy, and you, as most of you should know, that throw to second base has got to be right on the money. Because a little bit too high, by the time he comes down, not going to be able to do it. That ball's got to be nice and low right there. So anyway, after the release, see, now we see the head coming back and he's looking towards second. And you can see how he threw sidearm. You can see how that leg came all the way around in the follow through. But once the ball's already gone, what he does in the follow through is really immaterial. It's more of a consequence, so we're not going to waste time taking a look at his follow through. All right, let's take a look at the next one. He's in position, he's got the ball, spins around, should say spin, but jumps around to the side facing position. See, that's all good. It's in good position. Striding, plants the leg. So you can really see that elbow way back here. He has a good stretch. You can use that shoulder adduction coming through to create more force. These are all excellent features that he can get more force and speed on the ball. Total body rotation, if you can separate it, would be great. But look again, once again, the head is looking off to the side. He's not looking directly forward. So it wasn't a fluke. Look where the hand is. See, he's extending the arm. So we see a little bit of a bend in here. But essentially, it's like a sidearm throw. And his head looking way off toward third base. So if it was up to me, if I had a choice, well, should I select this person in my draft? Well, if I had somebody on staff who could make these corrections and have him looking at second base and changing the arm action, then he has good potential because he has a lot of good elements to him. But these are a couple of things that can be improved to make his throw even more effective. So once he learns how to do it, see, then he can be a much better catcher and get rid of that head position. It's amazing. See, now you would never see this if it wasn't on film going frame by frame, because we can look at it in regular speed. In fact, I'll just do it real quick. Okay, here he is. I'm going to go regular speed now. I'm just going to let it go. See, there's no way in the world you could pick that up. Happens too fast. So you need frame-by-frame analysis to know what is happening. If you really want to look at technique, it has to be done frame by frame. And this is what we specialize in here. You know, it's all organic, and we typically, if we did the filming, it'd be much clearer. We'd be able to see everything from frame to frame. We use higher shutter speeds to get it nice and clear, no blurring. We can see all of the actions. We can look at them frame by frame, analyze each one, come up with a good report, and then tell you what has to be done, how it should be done. And as you make these changes, then we even prescribe specialized strength exercises that duplicate what happens in each of these joint actions. And as you gain the strength and flexibility needed, you can develop the feel for the action, and then you master it, and you're on your way, and you'll have new technique, and you'll be a much more effective player.